Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and fight fans around the world. It's your boy P. Welsh here with another UFC fight night predictions, previews, and picks. We're gonna start off with a little recap from UFC 301. Caught ourselves a 10-3 week. Heavy dose of the favorites. We had Costa. He won by KO, pick submission. Bum Theme didn't get the finish, but dominated along the way. Barbosa robbed Karakady. Ruffy dominated Malarkey, very nice. Close, a very close decision. Orably looks dominant. Brenner's a beast. Lucindo looked very good. Brito looked incredible, dude. Brazilian Marab, one of my buddies called him. Jack Shore, I got a wrong pick, but I bet Brito. So then we got Paul Craig wrong, but we had the read of one of these 400 odds winnings. But Baralho looked great. Paul is a punching bag. Pereira, incredible. Anthony Smith, 2-minute guillotine sub, incredible. That's the one that we all missed there along the way. But great one from Lionheart there. Aldo with the win, and Pantoja wrapping up a 10-3 week. Very generous on the scorecards. We'll take it. Moving into UFC Fight Night, Lewis versus Nascimento. We're going to start us off down in the women's flyweight division. JJ Aldridge versus Veronica Hardy, 13-6 versus 8-4-1. Both ladies coming off a victory. I've seen JJ lead off the card before, take a loss, but I kind of got her. I'm leaning towards her with the win to start off. Veronica Hardy, 8-4, nothing too substantial, like nothing too noteworthy from either of these ladies. They're really trying to scrap it out and see what they can do. Very encouraged by the progression I saw in Aldridge in the couple fights I've seen her. I haven't seen Hardy fight, particularly that I can remember, looking back through her decisions. I think you could see a little bit of a reach advantage and a height advantage. I think there's going to be a mentality there. I think Aldridge, even the fight I've seen her lose, I think she has great potential. So I think she'll put together a very clean performance. I'm going JJ Aldridge, probably to the decision. I think you're going to see her box, stand up, get a lot of kicks, control the distance, have good defense. You're going to see a very well-rounded cage fighter performance from JJ Aldridge. That's why she's getting my pick. I think the chances of Veronica being one-dimensional, and I think Hardy is going to win on the feet, right? Like, that's where I think she can handle herself on the takedown defense, right? I think she's had enough practice at it, where it's not bad, where she doesn't really try, but she has enough experience. But I think she'll actually outclass her in the significant strikes. Even though that's not where it's landing, that's where I think we'll see the progression. That's where I think we'll see the difference. I'm taking Aldridge by decision. And unless you see something memorable and maybe she moves up all in our hearts and rankings, if we see a nice spinning back fist, that could be the spicy prediction, is spinning back fist from Aldridge. I've seen her have that in the repertoire in her fights, so don't be surprised if she's in a favorable position. But Hardy's coming at her, and we can see her slip that spinning back fist. I got Aldridge all day Aldridge, baby. Let's go. Next, we're in the welterweight division. We got Jared Gooden versus Kevin Jesuit, and that's Jared Gooden, not Jared Gordon, which I originally thought. That being said, I still am a big Jared Gooden fan here. I think he has a lot of potential, a lot of power for the welterweight division. I think he has a nice resume and put together quite a few nice performances. I want to kind of lean Kevin Jesuit here, but he really hasn't done anything of substantial, like a submission and a decision in your two fights. City Kickboxing is a hella great gym. He's got a little bit of a reach advantage. So, in my analysis for the fights yet, if there's something I'm missing in the pregame, but I really like Gooden here. I know he's taken some losses, and in my breakdown and analysis before, I always say some of these guys that win and lose, they could tend to be losing again versus Kevin Jesuit, but I really think Gooden has a chance to do insane power and change the fight literally in one punch. And I think that's what I'm kind of hedging on. That's what I'm going to pick on. And that's what I kind of like to, especially after coming off such a chalky week. And I know it's been very chalky recently in some of the UFC fights. So, I mean, I know these guys have been good, but man, there are some times when they just absolutely miss it too. And I'm not saying this is an absolutely miss it. I just think for the value you're getting at Gooden in the plus 200s, I think he's got way better of a chance, right? Now, I don't follow his camps per se. I don't follow him super in-depthly, so I hope everything is going well. Any injuries, stuff like that going on. Same with Kevin. Definitely, I'm definitely going against the trend here. I'm picking Gooden at plus 200, starting off the card with a couple underdogs. That's just what I'm kind of feeling this week. You can't always, and I don't love the other fighters, the favorites, right? Like, not, and so I see that. I don't even necessarily pick because of the odds. I kind of pick on who I like and who can do something damage, right? Like, it's going to be hard for Jesuit to control 3 rounds and not take some form of damage from Gooden, like, unless he just completely doesn't show up, right? Like, but my man Gooden can probably throw to the body and do great damage to Jesuit. So this should be a great one to start off. I'm hoping to see a KO. We're going to be in an arena too, so this is not a regular fight night in the Apex. We are in the big, St. Louis arena, so that's also going to be something that I think the people will want to perform. The difference for when these undercards will and I think we kind of see something like that from Gooden. I'm picking on the performance, right? I'm picking on the arena. I'm picking on kind of hometown guy, so I'm picking Gooden there. Bang! Moving into the flyweight division there. We got Charles Johnson versus Jake Hadley. 14-6 coming off a win versus 10-2 coming off a loss. 5'9" versus 5'7". And I tell you what, man, this is a very close fight. I'm leaning Johnson here. When we look at it, he's very well rounded. He has a great win against a great prospect, but some losses after that. Both men unanimously lost to Cody Durden. Odie Osborne split decision loss for Johnson is not bad. Beat Flick and beat Simagulov. I really think Jake Hadley has a chance, but in his last fight against Durden didn't look good. I think I remember him knocking out Gordon. And the sub, I can't really say I remember. That being said, I don't remember him looking very good against Gordon in his last fight, I should say. Against Durden. I don't know why I said Gordon. Durden. I don't remember him looking good at all. I don't expect Johnson to wrestle with him. I expect Johnson to throw hands, so maybe that's where Hadley might start, have an advantage, not just a little bit on the reach. I really like Johnson here. The booksmakers have him at plus 142. They dropped Hadley a little bit on the fighter odds as I was even prepping the video. Hadley that they dropped him from 175 to 170. I don't really know what that means, but I like Johnson here a lot. Again, plus money. I think he's a very clean mixed martial artist. I think he's got that experience. Going into the arena, he's going to want to put on another performance, right? Like, he's definitely one that's not going to shy away. Kind of reminds me of a non-talkative. His style reminds me of Bobby Green for the flyweights. That's like his style, and like nothing else. I know so I really like Johnson here. I think Hadley definitely could put him in his place and finish the fight, right? But I mean, I expect a lot from Johnson. He really impressed me in that last fight, really dominating. Maybe the other guy just wasn't ready to strike with him. Maybe Hadley's a different level above the last competition, but I'm gonna be picking Johnson. Starting off here with 3 dogs, but again, it's not saying I just don't like the win conditions on the favorites to like what they have to go against. I'm going to actually pick the other thing because the underdog, if their game plan works, will actually beat the favorites. And I really think we have opportunities here. Starting off in the picks, Charles Johnson, baby, bang, in the welterweight division. We're going to go to Billy Golf versus Trey Waters. And I tell you what, man, I had Billy. I like Billy a lot, but after seeing Trey be 6'5", there is no way I'm picking against Trey Waters in this matchup. We're breaking the underdog streak, getting on the board here. 8-1 versus 9-2. Not too much in the terms of history. Josh Quinlan is a nice win. That means he really played patient. Josh is a very solid fighter, very smart in the octagon, knows when to push it. A win a long time ago against Kinoshita. I think I remember that card, but maybe not specifically. So a long time out of the octagon. I think Trey. I'm definitely gonna get Trey the pick here. I'm not gonna keep it too tough. I think he dominates distance from the outside, larger octagon. Probably just gonna murder some leg kicks that we see here and there. Anytime Billy gets in there, my guy could probably just beat him down, beat him off, use the octagon, keep the rate up. Welterweight. Think we're gonna see Trey have a nice dominating maybe 3rd-round finish against Billy after he just knows he's losing the fight, has to come after it, could take a lot of damage. We'll put a valiant effort out there, but maybe a little cheeky Trey 3rd-round finish. I definitely think he's money in winning all day. not too much more to break down. I just think the disparity is just gonna, when it's that big, I don't care how good you are, because I remember just watching recently Josh Quinlan versus Randy Brown, and I like Josh a lot. I think I picked him in one of my videos, but Randy's just the length is just impossible not to take damage, and I'm trying to do damage, and at some point, if you don't do enough, you're just gonna get beat up more, and I think that's just what ends up happening. Trey Waters, bang, put it in the book there. Next, we're into the women's strawweight division. Tabitha Ricci, 9-2, coming off a loss versus Tisha, not Raquel Pennington, 13-6, coming off a loss. Blows ladies 5'1", coming in at 115 pounds. I tell you what, man, this is really a pick 'em, if you ask me. Ricci's at -155, and that's probably where I'm leaning, just probably because of I think I like who she's fought and her performances better than Pennington. We're looking back on Pennington, nothing typically stands out, and everything is decision, decision, decision. I guess not getting KO'd by Zhang, but it was a non-title fight. Is probably something to hang your hat on. But we're going on 5 years there. Sam Hughes TKO. We kind of had that expecting when we had it, but a loss to McKenzie is a really good performance. Now I'm definitely probably sleeping on Pennington here and hyping up a lot, because I don't want to say I'm a fan of Reach. Good Dean, good performance. Everybody thought, and Loopy did not perform well, so I think Ricci's going to come back pretty and fight a really good fight against Pennington. I'm just gonna pick Ricci here. I don't really have a reason to pick Pennington, because I don't think he has that wing that Ricci has with takedowns and strikes. That being just gonna lean somebody that has a clear grappling, right, and has won fights that way. So that's where we're Tabitha in the women's strawweight division. I don't want to overcomplicate it, because again, I think it's one of those things where it'll probably be split decision, 29-28 Ricci, where up doing a lot of damage maybe in the third round. Could be split decision where one of them gives them a middle round depending on what happens. Very close fight. I expect this to go the distance. A bang, book it in there. Tabitha Ricci, not the highest on the confidence picks, but we always have to make a pick here. It's early in the week too. I'm recording this on a Monday. I got some time to do it, so bang, moving into the men's lightweight division. We got Terrence McKinney here against Esteban Ribovic, 15-6, coming off a win versus 12-1, both coming off a win. Metrics looking the same there. McKinney, man, what can you say? This is kind of like my Gooden of the lightweight division. He kind of reminds me of the Kevin Holland brand, where very talented, can beat people, but also will take some losses against top competition. And this is where I'm having a trouble to figure out where this one fits in there. While he does have quite a bit of experience in the big stages, he has taken some losses there as well, McKinney. I don't know if they're setting him up to do that again here. While it's not a pay-per-view fight, this is an arena fight. So maybe I don't know if I've ever watched Esteban fight. I can't really remember. Kirk and Rozbadov, 27 striker. I mean, I'm really leaning Ribovic, just because I think as a striker, if you can hit on McKinney, right, and have the advantage there, that's where he really wants to have the advantage. And if he doesn't, he's definitely susceptible. Now, 22nd KO, I think that was crazy. Breeding KO, but he did take a submission loss to some firmer competition in the KO to Bomb Theme on the big card. But that being said, I think the loss to Dober is like, we're going to have to see how good Esteban Ribovic is, the Argentinian prospect versus somebody that's established at least many fights deep in the UFC. Very hard to pick against that for me right now. I had Ribovic the whole time, and I kind of want to pick McKinney here, and I think I'm actually going to go do the turnabout and pick McKinney here. If we're doing big dogs, we might as well stay on the train, right? We're going to live with the dogs and die by the dogs. St. Louis is a dog town, So a bunch of underdogs love coming for there. A lot of grit, a lot of hustle. Let's flip it up. Let's do Terrence McKinney putting on a class UFC performance, a class cage fighter performance. Probably by decision. I'm not saying he's going to knock him out, knock him down, but just not a lot in there from Ribovic. And let's see how it goes. A little bit of a reach advantage for McKinney. I expect a good performance from McKinney now that we break it down. It's one of those reverses, flipperoonies. Again, not a lot of confidence picks. There's a few picks that I feel locked in on, and a bunch that, this undercard is very 50-50 to me. I'm hoping not to get train wrecked here, but I'm definitely can see some things. The biggest thing I have for me is these underdogs is playing in the big, like a bunch of American underdogs in an underdog city in a big arena. I think they're gonna come out and show out. This could be a really either bad week or a feather in the cap if we get a nice pick 'em. These are it's always crazy going through every single fight, but I'm gonna pick. I'm going back on what I picked pregame. I was gonna get some favorites in there, but fudge it. Let's go McKinney here, baby. 15-6, getting the win on home soil. Bang! Moving into Chase Hooper versus Vasilevsky Borshchev, 13-3 versus 7-3-1, coming off a draw. And Chase Hooper, 6'11" in the lightweight division. Borshchev coming off a loss, coming off a draw to this guy Sidakov. I tell you what, man, this was one of the craziest draws you'll ever see. I think it was one of the both of these guys had like a 10-8 round, and then they both won a round against somebody. One of the most incredible scraps. I'm not sure if that was it was a crazy scrap, and that's where I'm going Borshakov. I think he's a junkyard dog. I think he absolutely does damage to Hooper. I want Hooper to win. I'm a fan of the prospect of him. He's got a nice reach metrics advantage. But I think Borshchev is, and unless I'm missing something in the grapple department where he doesn't throw anything, but I think this is going to be one of those significant strike damages where just Hooper can't compete on the feet, and unless he can take him down. But that being said, I feel like we could see something crazy from Hooper, but I'm just not going with it in this pick. Right, we've taken a lot of chances. This is one I don't really want to chance. I think the bookies have this one right. I think what I remember watching from that last fight is this guy is an absolute killer. I don't care about 2 inches. When you get in there and you can do the damage, I think Hooper has always been, I don't want to say a light chin, but more of a grappler and a wrestler. So if that damage can be done and you can't wrestle somebody and you can't outstrike them, no game plan. I got Borshchev all day on the picks there. I think that's going to wrap up the prelims, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to move on to the main card. We got Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Robalas Despensage, 11-1 versus 5-0, man. And I don't know if the only thing that's going to last longer is me talking about this fight, because I got Despensage by KO. Now, Cortez Acosta, if this was in the Apex, it might have a chance, but it's still a tighter arena in there. But this guy, Despensage, has the reach, has the height. Look at that reach, 87-70. Is that even a real thing? Is that even comparable? I just think Waldez Acosta is just trying to he's going to get a good show, and he wants to win because his show is more, so his win would be more. But this guy Robalis, I think, should be on a card every few months, because if he can knock everybody out in 20 minutes, not even 20 minutes, 20 seconds, I think that's what we're kind of seeing here. Maybe a little bit longer, but I think this guy's gonna have like a Sergey Pavlovich rise to the top, right? He'll get challenged by somebody across the way, but every prospect I think he's just gonna run through, and this being another one. I don't think it's too. I think he's not even minus 200 yet. I don't know. Cortez Acosta is a polished cage fighter. His last fight, he dominated a very young fighter, but he didn't seem to have a game plan like this guy. He's a Taekwondo medalist, right? This guy has competed at the highest Olympic Games. Mentality is different here. Don't think there's much more to say about it. Hopefully, Cortez, he's got a lot of decisions. If this guy could take it to decision, he'd be happy. But I think Despensage just gets a finish sooner than later. And we move on to the next route. Bang! Alex Caceres versus Sean Woodson in the featherweight division, 21-14 versus 11-1-1. And I tell you what, man, Woodson is money, man. He has looked money. I like Alex. He's got a prospect. He's got a puncher's chance. But with the Woodson has put down some good fighters recently. He's on a tear, and when these guys are on a tear in these divisions, you're either cream of the crop or you're below the gatekeepers. You know what I mean? And no offense to Alex, he's a kind of a below the gatekeeper kind of guy, and Woodson is kind of rising, and I think this is another one. Could potentially see a finish. You might put a little sauce on a Sean Woodson finish. I think he's heavy, big favorite. I think like minus 250 or something along the lines there. And I think for good reason, man. He has looked absolutely very clinical. Now I'm saying he has not, only minus 198 right now. He has not been super challenged in his career, right? But he also has not been not challenged. I think Bazjuka just won a fight recently too by KO, right, against Matthews. Picked him to win in the third round. So beat Charles Jourdain, split decision draw. Like he's got some pretty good performance. That being said, Alex here, my guy Alex, losing the Giga Chad, putting up some performances there, but not the toughest competition. Been on the Contender Series a few times, um, once at least, maybe a few times. I might be overstepping it, but I mean, this seems Sean Woodson all day, baby. Big fan of him. He impressed me in the Jourdain fight. Presses me with his length, with his activity, with his positioning in the octagon. Woodson, baby, let's go. Bang, lightweight division. Diego Ferreira, 18-5 versus Mateus Robicki at 19-1 there. Both coming off a win in the lightweight division, 2-inch advantage and long reach advantage for Ferreira. Definitely could be a game changer for this guy, Rizabex. Look at the arm difference. You can just tell looking at the pictures right now. My guy is a big favorite, powerhouse damage, and I'm gonna follow the bookies here. Maybe they know something about the guy's power. The lightweight division, if you can bring a different level of power coming down from 171 potentially too, you're gonna have to give up some of that. But that might be he might be very fast for the division then coming down. Coming in later, still able to pack the punch. I'm going Mateus Rebecki here. It's definitely has a chance to be a very good scrap, very good back and forth. A lot of even on there. The odds definitely say Rebecki. Let's take a look at the record. We can see Roberts, Rajavai, Ferrari 3-0. Nothing crazy though. Ferreira taking some losses in his career, but wins against Johnson, losses to Gamrot, Gillespie, Dariush, but he's got fights against Pettis. There's a lot on his resume here, and maybe this is another one. He's not afraid to step in with anybody, and this is a good challenge for him. We could probably see this one go to decision, split decision, very close. Could potentially be a draw. I mean, not gonna lie, we haven't seen a draw in a while, and maybe we're set up to see a draw finally. Got Rebecki here. I'm not going to make it too complicated. If Ferreira comes in there with the metrics, starches him and looks pretty good, then I'll give it to him. But I don't want to be, this definitely be one that we feel differently on come Saturday when they're walking out to the octagon. I will always say that the time from recording the video to the time they walk out to the octagon, many things can change, including watching the weigh-ins live on Friday, which I encourage anybody that's a fight fan at least watch the video. Coming in after, just so you get to see for yourselves if you're interested in anything. And just, there's a lot that happens in there. You see a lot of people, and that's a big fight. A lot of people overcome. They might look terrible in the weigh-ins, but that's like their biggest battle, and then they're free from it because they were so worried about not making weight, not getting paid. And it's just like, all right, well, we showed up, we just go have fun now. So I'm not saying that this is a case there, but I got Rebecki here. We're going to see throughout the week. I think I might even feel better about it later in the week, right? So we're going to move on. Boom, into the super confidence picks in a way. Alonzo Menefield versus Carlos Ulberg. 15-3 Menefield and 1 draw against 10-1 Ulberg. A Menefield big underdog here. He definitely has a puncher's chance. I want to say he's from the area as well. Nope, definitely not. Outreaching, but 36 on the age is not encouraging. I did not think he was that old. I've pulled some of his rookie cards literally a year or two ago, but a good win against Jacoby, Billy Cruti, but he just spent a lot of time really not progressing, trying to avenge some people. And Ulberg, I think, is one of those prospects that has dynamite hands and has an absolute chance to beat anybody that he comes up against. And I'm picking Ulberg here. I think this is where the confidence picks. It starts with Despan Sage, Ulberg. Really like these guys a lot. This is nothing against Menefield. I've rooted for him. I've cheered him on. I've picked him against Jacoby, I believe. I'm a big fan, but I just think Ulberg has the speed, the strength, great training, and I think we're going to see possibly a KO victory. I love my guy Menefield, but this is where I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I'm picking Ulberg. I think he's just clean with it. He's going to ascend in the light heavyweight and probably want a number next to his name soon enough. Menefield's been around for a while, been a gatekeeping, winning and losing, but not doing much. He needs this, and I just don't see it happening. Ulberg has the metrics, has the experience, has the speed, has the strength. This is an upset from Menefield. I'll be very happy for him to put this one on my loss record, but I'm picking Ulberg, right? This one's on Menefield. I'm not going to take the L because Menefield don't show up and don't look good, right? I'm going to pick Ulberg because that's what I think is going to happen. Menefield put the L on my record there. Bang! Light heavyweight division. Moving on into the welterweight division here. We got Joaquin Buckley versus Nursultan Ruzubov. 18-6 Buckley versus 34-8-2 with 2 no contests. And my God, I can't believe Buckley wanted this guy. Buckley wanted to fight so bad in his hometown. He took one of the nastiest guys on the roster, man. Props to Buckley, man. He can get the job done here. He's a favorite. I don't know how. I got Ruzabov all day. The only thing I can think about is if there's a speed discrepancy that I'm missing, because Buckley being 29, coming off Ruzabov, he has a little bit more weathered, but even 30, I just think the length, the metrics, he's going to wrestle him, dominate him. He's got brick hands. Buckley's going to have to make an incredible KO. I'm picking Ruzabov here. I can't believe Buckley's a big favorite. I think they're coming off the Luque win. It's short time, not off a big camp. This guy's an absolute killer. That being said, they're both off very short turnarounds, right? 8-week turnaround for my man over there. Both on the same card. They fought on the same card, Atlantic City, not at the end of last month. So quick turnaround. I got Ruzabov here. I think this one's handicapped. 6'5" versus 5'10". I just can't believe that's gonna, like I said, unless I'm missing a speed and strength advantage. And maybe he'll be able to wrestle him, but Buckley might lose an ugly decision. Like, if he can't, he might not be able to submit him because Buckley's got hella good strength. I've watched a lot of Buckley fights, kind of like Menefield and Cheku. I love some of these guys, the power. I mean, who can't forget his KO on the reverse back kick? We all love Buckley. I want to see him win here, but I think he's biting off a little bit more than he can chew coming off a short camp. I think he might be a little down in the welterweight. I got Ruzabov. I'm hoping this guy weighs in on shorts. Hopefully he's not carrying an injury or nothing like that. It's crazy, the height difference and then the reach, but I'll always take the height difference being a big, especially for somebody that wants to take him down. He can just lift him off center a lot easier just by standing up, not having to use leverage against somebody that might have great balance like Buckley. Ruzabov all day. Ruzabov, Oldberg, Despan, Sage. I put them together before I made the video. I mean, just a 1-unit play, but I got him locked in right now. Bang! And then we're getting into Derek Lewis versus Rodrigo Nascimento, the heavyweight main event, 5 rounds. Derek Lewis 27-12 versus Nascimento 11-1. I tell you what here, I'm really scared we're going to get a longer fight here. If Lewis can't finish Nascimento early, right? My guy is cooking up to go 3, 4, 5 rounds against Lewis. If they just sit there exchanging, if they blow their gas tank and can't get a finish in the early round, I definitely can see this one. Now, I don't even know what I'm picking for this fight as I'm breaking it down. I want to pick Rodrigo Nascimento just because Derek Lewis has put so many stinker performances out on there. But, I mean, I don't know if I can trust a guy that split decision wins against, right? Tanner Bozer, not really the most impressive win. Can't knock him out. Gonna lose to Chris Dawkins. Dontrell Mays wins a couple times. I mean, my guy Lewis, it's Derek Lewis, dude. Can't pick Derek Lewis. Derek, don't do me wrong, dude. Don't do me wrong, Derek. If Rodrigo can put the L on the record, we're gonna take the L, right? Derek, get it done. Get it done, man. KO. 3 minutes. Fire hands, 50K bonus. Signed a new contract 2 fights ago. It's Jolton Omida on the next fight after the contract. I hope this isn't one of those things where he just doesn't try until his contract's up and then he tries. He can't be doing that anymore. He's getting old, right? What is he? 39. He can't be doing that anymore. Derek, get the job done. Rodrigo, what do we got? 31. Man, could definitely just want to sit there and bang, dude. I might even pull the reversal. I don't know what to do here. We got to figure out an official pick before. I don't know what we're going to do here. Just because I feel like Lewis just might not show up. The gas tank might just not be there. I'm actually doing the full reversal on the pick. We're going Rodrigo Nascimento. Derek, put the L on my record, man. Put the L on my record. I'm not getting stumped on my picks here. You put the L on my record, Derek. You put it on there, bro. A lot of upsets, big upsets on the card. We're doing the full reversal onto Rodrigo Nascimento. I think we're just going for a longer fight there. I think Derek Lewis, what he has showed me sometimes is he just does not show up. And if he's not going to show up, I mean, it's not a pay-per-view card. I know he's the headline main event. Maybe that's going to get him going a little bit more. But that being said, I watched him lose to Sergey Spivak. Go Rodrigo Nascimento for the official picks. I don't know. Don't gamble on the fight, chat. I don't do anything like that. We're going to do a little recap here. Coming in strong, JJ Aldridge. We're going to have Jared Gooden, Charles Johnson. Big dogs to start the fight there. Trey Waters. We got Tabitha Ricci. We did the Terrence McKinney slight reversal. Borshevev over Hooper. Despan Sage. Woodsons. Rebecki. Olberg, Rizbioff, and we're going to take Nascimento. Derek Lewis put the L on our record. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Again, predict the card in the comment. 100% record gives you $100 coming into your pocket there. Leave it in the comments. Like the video. Please subscribe to the channel to support the video if you like my UFC commentary. Check us live at twitch.tv/pwelsh. I'll leave the link in the description. I'll be signing off till next week. Peace and love, everybody, and good luck.